Hi, it's Hans at ahappierman.com. Today's topic is Hamas, Israel, and a happier man. Now, what does Hamas and Israel and a happier man have to do with each other? Well, I'll get to that. Of course, this is October of 2023, and about a week ago, that Hamas terrorist went into Israel, did a bunch of killings and terrorizing, and now the Israelis are retaliating for it. And the happier man part is I've been following all this all week. It's consuming my time, probably like it's consuming everybody's time. It's very difficult to remain happy when there's horrible things happening in the world at large. But somehow you, as a happier man, I'm trying to be happy, have to draw your attention back to your own life as best you can, even in these enormously uncomfortable, difficult, horrifying times. So what I really wanted to get to, though, is if you think about these ancient hatreds and tribal problems in various parts of the world, or the Middle East, for example, it's a massive failure of the people who live there, the leadership, the people living there under whatever conditions there are, and allowing all of this to continue to this day after, I guess it's thousands of years, right? When you start studying it or start hearing about it or getting different viewpoints or studying the history of it. And what does that have to do with you as a happier man? I guess it gets to, just because the leadership of a country is too incompetent or too cowardly or too twisted or corrupt, or has all of that baggage going on to solve these big problems, that doesn't mean you can't solve your big problems on a personal level. The terrorists, the Hamas terrorists, the Israeli forces killing people left and right at this moment. Your life could still be spiraling out of control as we speak, and it's still up to you to try to do something to fix it. It really won't matter about what happens over there if your life is horribly out of control and amiss. I know when I was struggling with living with a verbally abusive wife, the things that were happening in the world didn't really matter to me. I watched the TV and see the news and stuff was happening, but it was like I couldn't care because I'm the one getting victimized and brutalized and verbally abused on a continuous basis, right? So it was up to me to do something about my circumstances, and I chose to leave her, and I detail all this in my book, Leave Your Wife and Become a Happier Man, with this three-step system available on the ahappierman.com website. And if this sounds like a problem that you're having, I would go check that out. But getting back to this Hamas-Israeli situation, yeah, you can choose to dwell on it and put your head in the sand about your own life and your own wife ruining your life, or your own job ruining your own life, or your own vices ruining your own life, or you can do something about it, right? And argue if we can rise up and do something about our own problems on a personal level, that may work its way up, right, to the leadership of countries and the world. The leaders are only as good as the people who live in their country, I think. So that would lend itself to, we all need to do a little better, I guess, and try to deal more productively with our own lives. Now, of course, I'm saddened by this whole situation in the Middle East. It's horrifying. It's gruesome. It's terrible. It's terrible, and I feel for the poor victims of this, and I wish that it wasn't hashing, but it is. Just like when I was getting verbally abused by my wife, I was wishing it wasn't happening. I was wishing she would just kind of turn it off and go back to be the nice lady I met when we were going out in the early years of our marriage. That's what I wished would happen, and I tried to encourage her to do that, but the reality was that's not the way it was. It was the total opposite. So the only way out was to save myself, and I left, and certainly I know that for the people living in that Gaza Strip, leaving, it's not going to be very easy for them at all. Their lives, to me, they're effectively ruined at this point. They're effectively ruined. But I would argue that, when I was going through the worst of the verbal abuse, my life was effectively ruined, and I had to rebuild my life and crawl out of that horrible situation. And luckily, I had good people to kind of lean on, and I had enough of a reserve of strength and happy thoughts to kind of work my way through it. And in the end, I prevailed. And I think that to me is a better mindset, that you will prevail. So try not to get overly distraught over the Middle East at this moment. Maybe there's something you can do personally to help. Send your thoughts, send good thoughts, send your prayers. Watch out for the people close to you. There's potential for things to spill out past the Middle Eastern borders, and then we should all be aware of those things. So I'm pulling for you. I want you to be a happier man like me. I want more happier men, happier women, happier people. All for now.